Hello guys, hello, what's up? Good? Where's everybody? Where's Samuel? Where's Gabriela? Lisandra? How are you guys doing? Welcome to our 11th class of the advanced level. Guys, in a couple of minutes we're gonna start the class, okay? So in 4 minutes we start. Let's wait for people to start entering so we can begin, okay? Hello Guarapa, great student. This Guarapa is an awesome student. Tatiane, Samuel. Welcome back, Samuel. How are you, Tatiane? How are you? Hi. So guys, we are almost gonna start our class. Today we're gonna talk about relative clauses, okay? Not a difficult grammar. It's a grammar that we use all the time we use this grammar. So it's very important that we review the relative clauses that are that, who, which, where, right? Whom. So these are the different relative pronouns that we use. Get your water, Samuel. My water's already here. And in 3 minutes, we begin. I'm good, Tatiane. I'm feeling good. So in 3 minutes, we start, okay? Guys, remember to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget. Just click on the button here at the bottom and subscribe to the channel so you can get more knowledge, more videos from Seed. And also, in the end of quarantine, you can try to win a product that we're gonna release with a draw, okay? With a sorteio, okay? So let's wait 2 more minutes and we begin. Let's just wait a little bit. We have some people that ask to wait just 5 minutes, 6 minutes, because they're gonna arrive a little late so they can see the complete class, okay? So in 2 minutes we begin. Woo! Let me get the slides ready here so we can begin. I already have everything prepared. Are you guys ready? Ready to start? Got your water, Samuel? Did you get your water from the kitchen? Is everything set? Everything ready for us to begin? All right. Very cold here. Very cold here. Here is so. It's a little bit cold, not so much. So let's get heated. Let's get hot. Yes, sir. Samuel got his water, so we can start. So guys, let's begin our class. Today we're gonna talk about the relative clause. And what is the relative clause? We use the relative clause, guys, to make our English more sophisticated, and so we can save words, so we don't waste sentences. Because it's very bad when you hear a person saying, I bought a car. The car is blue. The car was expensive. The car is a Ferrari. This is very, very annoying. It's very, very basic, né? Or if we say, I bought a car and it's very expensive and it's a Ferrari and it's very beautiful. No, we can use relative clauses to make our English more sophisticated, okay? A little bit more beautiful. Hello, Julio, how are you? All right? So guys, let's begin. Relative clauses. Before we start, I want to test you guys just with some questions really fast, okay? So let's go. Complete for me, guys. Choose the correct response to complete each relative clause. Number 1, the man, ta-na-na, was speaking to us was very tall. The man who, the man which, or the man whose? What do you guys think? Who, which, or whose? A, B, or C for number 1, guys? The man whose was speaking to us, Samuel says. And you guys, what do you think, Julio, Gabriela, Tatiane? What do you think, Guarapa? Share with us here. So, Emmett, whose? Everybody who's? Wrong. Guys, the man who was speaking to us was very tall. Why? Here, I'm talking about the man. The man is a person, a place, or a thing. It's a person. For people, we use who. The man was speaking. Whose? When are we going to use whose? When we're talking about possession. Okay? For example, the man whose car is a Ferrari is very tall. The Ferrari belongs to the man. Possession. Whose? The man whose car. Okay? So in this situation, the correct is who. And number 2, guys. Let's see number 2. The woman bought the dress, did not speak English. And number 2. Number 2 is similar to number 1, right? Which one do you think for number 2? Which, who, or whose? What's your opinion? For number 2. Very good, Tatiani. For number 2, the correct answer is who. You guys learn fast, right? Actually here, Samuel, we have to think of the verb, right? So the verb bought. Who bought the dress? The woman. The woman is a person. So the woman who bought the dress. The dress here is not the next word. So I'm not talking about the dress belonging to the woman. I'm talking about the action that the woman did. She bought the dress, okay? So for this reason, Samuel, we're gonna use who, because the woman who did the action, not the woman who has a possession, okay? Now, look at number 3, Samuel. Look at number 3. Number 3, I'm going to use whose, which, or who. The people, ta-na-na, flight was canceled, were upset. And now, guys, number 3, whose, which, or who. Very good, Amy. Great job. Let's see what you guys think. And today we're gonna play some games, some guessing games. It's gonna be really fun. All right. And number 3, as you can see, the people whose flight was canceled were upset. Why, guys? Because now the flight, right? So the flight, o voo, belongs to who? The flight belongs to the people. It's a possession of the people. The flight is of the people. So the people whose flight was canceled were upset. I'm talking about something that belongs to the subject. All right? So for this reason, I'm gonna use whose. Okay? Good. And the last one. Let's see. Do you know anyone speaks Japanese? For number 4, guys, I'm gonna use which, that or which, or that or who. What do you guys think? So for number 4, which, that, which, or that or who? What do you think? Very good, Samuel. We're gonna practice this more. Don't worry, okay? No, Tatiana, it can be for even people. For example, Tatiane, whose best friend lives in Japan, is also my friend. Tatiane, whose best friend. The best friend is yours, belongs to you, okay? So we can use whose for people, person, places, anything. It depends if it belongs to you, all right? Do you know anyone that or which speaks English? That or who? So who's right? Tatiane or Gabriela? Or Samuel? Guys, in this situation, we have to see, are we talking about a person, a place, or a thing? So anyone, if it's anyone, it's not any place, it's not anything, it's anyone, it's a person. For people, we use who. So, do you know anyone that speaks Japanese? Or do you know anyone who speaks Japanese? Which we're gonna use for things, okay? For example, do you know something which you buy at the bookstore, for example, okay? So for number 4, it's C. Okay, guys, now let's learn when we're gonna use this. First, I'm gonna teach you guys that the relative clause, we have 2 types of relative clause. We have the defining relative clause, and we have the non-defining relative clause. What is something that defines? It's something that gives a meaning. It's something that gives a definition to something or to someone, okay? So let's see this in practice, okay? Let's try it out. So let's imagine, guys, that I have these 2 sentences here. I bought a car. Okay, you bought a car, and the car is very expensive. All right. Wait, here. So in this situation, we have 2 different sentences. I bought a car. The car is very expensive. We can use a relative clause to define and to save words, to sound a little bit more sophisticated, okay? So how can I do this, Kai? Teach me how I'm gonna put these sentences together. Okay, easy money, let's do it. So guys, here I can say, I bought a car which is very expensive. So I can put these 2 sentences together using a relative pronoun. I can use the relative which to talk about the car. Now look at the sentence, guys. If I say to you, for example, I bought a car. Now, you don't give me any definition of what car. You're saying, for example, okay, you bought a car, e daí? What about the car? It's a fast car, it's an expensive car, it's a Fiat, it's a Fusca. So it's necessary for me to use this relative clause. This clause here, which is very expensive, defines the car. So it defines the car. It gives me important information. It gives me essential information about the car. It's a necessary sentence to define the car. That's why this is a defining relative clause, because it defines the car that I bought. Now, the car, guys, the car is a person, it's a place, or it's a thing. The car is a thing. For things, we're gonna use which, or we're gonna use that, okay? So for objects, for things, we're gonna use which or that, okay? Now let's see another sentence here. A library is a place. Okay, a library is a place. E daí? It's a place that you can read books. Perfect. Now we're getting there. So how can I say this sentence together? I can say a library is a place where you can read books. Now in this situation, we have a different pronoun. We have where you can read books is defining the library, the place. What is this place, right? If I just say a library is a place, daí? So what? Where you can read books. So now again, it's a defining relative clause, and as you can see, place, it's a location, all right? So a library is a place that you can read books, or where you can read books, okay? Let me just see. Good. Where is it? Where is it? Ah, here. So a defining relative clause, guys, it's this. It's what we define something. For example, in this sentence here, I'm defining the car. In this sentence, I'm defining a place. Actually, this here, we cannot use that, okay? We're gonna use just where. For place, just where. Now let's see a thing. Neymar is a soccer player. Neymar plays for PSG. And now, how can I put this together? So Neymar is a soccer player who plays for PSG. In this situation now we have who, because we're talking about a soccer player. So this is a person, right? For people we can use that, all right? For people we can use that. So in this situation we can use which or that. For things, where for places, and who or that for people, okay? Good. So defining relative clause, what is this, Kai? We use defining relative clauses to give essential information about someone or something, information that we need. It's necessary to understand what or who we're talking about. A defining relative clause normally comes after the noun, immediately after the noun, okay? Noun, relative clause. Noun, relative clause. Noun, relative clause. Okay? Good. So guys, just some rules. I'm not gonna read every single rule. In the end, we're gonna compare the two. No commas, okay? We don't use any commas here. What is a comma? This is a comma. So we don't use commas in this situation. No commas necessary. We can use that instead of who or which. Okay, so like I said, for people and for things, we can use who or we can use which. Now guys, something very important. Relative pronouns can be omitted. Okay, so they can be omitted. For example, let's see an example here. In this situation here, Neymar is a soccer player. Let's see this sentence. Neymar is a soccer player who plays for Paris Saint-Germain. Here, it's necessary. I have to use the relative pronoun. Why? Because here, I'm talking about Neymar. Neymar is a soccer player. And here, I'm talking about what? Neymar. Neymar plays for Paris Saint-Germain. So the two subjects, the two people, they are the same. So it's necessary. Now let's imagine a different sentence. For example, I am the person that you can call for help. So here I have the relative clause that. I am the person that you can call for help. Now guys, in this sentence here, the subject is I, Kai. And here it's you, Samuel, Gabriela, Tatiane. So it's two different people. So I can say, I am the person you can call for help. It's optional. We can omit the relative pronoun. Okay? Good? Good. Guys, now we're going to play a game of taboo. If you don't know taboo, this is how it works. I want you to look here at these objects. So we have library, smartphone, school, sushi, Facebook, Brazil. I want you to pick one and describe this for me using a relative clause. And I'm gonna guess, okay, like mandinar, what object you're talking about. You can pick engineer, Facebook, sun, rocket, and you're gonna say, for example, smartphone. This is something that you use every day. This is something which you use to call your family. Okay? So pick one and describe for me. Guys, let's see if I can guess. I'm going to play mandinar with you guys now. Let's see. Engineer in the moon. Samuel, you're good. Don't say the word to me, okay? Don't say the word. If you pick Facebook, don't say Facebook. Only describe. For example, this is something that you use to speak with friends, okay? You don't use the words. Let's see if I can guess which ones you're talking about. So pick only one, okay? Tatiane, Julio. Choose one and I'm gonna try to guess. Samuel, just kidding. Let's see. We have many options here. We have some more options here. Mickey Mouse, karate. Samuel said, it's a place where we go in 2024, maybe. Samuel, you're talking about Japan. Is this, Samuel? A place where we go in 2024. Perfect. Very good use of relative clause. Japan. Okay, Gabriela, describe for me, Gabriela. You chose, you have to describe, okay? Like Samuel did. And Samuel chose Japan. Let's see, one more. It's a place where you can go and eat popcorn, Júlio. Let's see. Cinema, Júlio. Wrong, Samuel. The moon, Samuel. Is it the moon? Júlio's is cinema. All right. I think Júlio's I got correct. Correct, Júlio? Right. Júlio's was easier. Samuel is not. Why it's not Japan? Now I'm in doubt. So maybe the moon. Right, Samuel? It's a place where I can relax reading and having coffee. So Gabriela's is library. All right. Samuel, one more chance. Mars. Mars, Samuel. Is this it? Now I think I got correct. Good. So guys, now I'm gonna describe for you and you're gonna have to guess. Alright? Tatiana said, place where the president is very irresponsible. Brazil, Tatiana, it's this. I don't even have to look. So, good, now I got correct. Now it's my turn to make you guess, okay? I have here 2 people, 2 places, and 2 things for you to guess. The first one, this is a person that is not from Brazil. It's a person who is a leader of a very important country. This is a leader who is very controversial, so very polemic, and it's a leader who is friends with our president, Bolsonaro. Who am I talking about? What do you guys think? Easy. It's a person who has orange skin and very ugly hair. Who do you guys think? Good, Isabel. Isabel is the first one. Tatiana is second. Donald Trump. Very good. Guys, the next one. Person number 2. Okay, ready? This is a person who is very funny. It's a person who lives in Brazil. This is a person who makes comedy. He makes comedy. I think he's from Piauí, something like this. All right? And it's a person who had depression in the past. He's a very funny guy. He has orange skin, Isabella. Look the picture. He's orange. Good job. So everybody guessed Donald Trump. Good. Samuel got correct. Whindersson Nunes. Great job. Mine are easy, né? Now guys, this is a place where you can go to read books and have coffee. Just like Gabriela said, all right? Now it's a location, it's a place. It's a place where you can read books in silence, okay? You can't buy books, but it's a place where you can read books. What do you think? Now it's a location. Let's see who's gonna be the first person to answer. With people, you guys did good. Emer, you don't know who's Whindersson Nunes? Go on Netflix or YouTube and put Whindersson Nunes. You're gonna laugh a lot. It's funny. Good, Tatiana, the library. Tatiana is getting all of them correct today. Guys, the next one. This is a place where you can go for soccer games and for festivals. It's a place that is in Belo Horizonte, and it's a place where Cruzeiro is the owner of this place. It's a place where Cruzeiro won Tríplice Coroa, won Mineiro Championships, Libertadores, a lot of things. It's a place where we can go for parties and also for festivals. Julio is sad because of the end of this relationship. Yes. He lost a very beautiful girl, né, Julio? And she lost a very nice guy too. Good. Mineirão, o Guarapa. Froze. Frisou aqui, ó. Now it's back. Good, guys. So, Mineirão, the famous Toca 3, right? So, you guys did good, correct. Mineirão, it's the place that I guess. The next one, guys. Now I'm going to talk about two things, all right? I'm going to talk about two things right now. Tatiana, I don't know about... you're Flamenguista? With Flamenguista, I don't speak. You guys are good this year. Sorry. Guys, the next one, it's an object, okay? This is an object. This is an object that is very old. This is an object that we played in our childhood. In this object, we had to take care of a little animal, of a little pet. We had to give food, water, care for this animal. What object am I talking about? So now I'm talking about an object that we played when we were little kids. Does anybody know? If you were born in 2000, maybe you don't know. Good, Julio. Tamagotchi, nice. Very good, Julio. Great guy. Everybody played with this, right? You had to give food. Guys, the next one, it's an object too. It's a thing. It's a thing that we ate in the past. I don't know if we have nowadays. It's very difficult to find. This is a candy that you use your finger to suck and you eat this. It's very good. We had guaraná flavor, kiwi flavor. What's the name of this candy that we use our finger to eat? Let's see if you guys know what I'm talking about. All right, let's see. Nobody knows? Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the answer is push pop. Do you guys remember? Push pop, this was one of my favorites. Favorite candy of all time. Very good, Tatiane. Push poppy. Long time. Now you remember, Julio. Do you remember the name now, you and Samuel? Very good, guys. So now let's go to the non-defining relative clause. So we learned when we have a relative clause that is essential, right? It's very important. It's essential information. Now we're going to learn about the non-defining. The information is not so important. It's just extra information, okay? So let's see. Same example of Neymar. Neymar is a soccer player. Okay, great information. Neymar plays for PSG. And he is a very expensive player. Okay, so now here I have 3 information and I have to see which one I think is the most important information. So I have to analyze here which sentence is extra and I have to analyze which sentence is essential, okay? And this, guys, depends of opinion. You can say that the important information is Neymar plays for PSG, but maybe you want to give emphasis that he's a very expensive player. So this is up to you to decide. But how can I put this sentence together? Very, very simple. I can say Neymar, who is very expensive, plays for PSG. Alright? So here in this sentence, I have the relative clause. As you can see, I'm using who because Neymar is a person. And here, between commas, look at this, very important. Between commas, I put the extra information. Neymar, who is a very expensive player. Now, let's put here. Let me just fix the sentence a little. Neymar, who is a very expensive player, plays for Paris Saint-Germain. So in this situation, I have extra information. Look at this. If I remove this sentence, let's remove it. Boom. Neymar plays for Paris Saint-Germain. Perfect. I have a sentence. No problem. Okay? So in this situation, who is a very expensive player? It's a non-defining relative clause. So now I have a clause here that is not essential. Okay, it's a clause that just gives me extra information. Now you can ask me, Kae, can I use that instead of who in this situation? Can I say Neymar, that is a very expensive player, plays for Paris Saint-Germain? No, we cannot use that. Okay, we have to use who, which, or where for this situation. Okay, good. So very, very easy. Let's see what is a non-defining relative clause. Guys, we use non-defining relative clause to give extra information about a person or a thing. It's not necessary information, okay? We don't need to understand who or what we're referring to. It's not necessary to say that Neymar is an expensive player for me to know that Neymar plays for Paris Saint-Germain, okay? So just some information. Between commas, remember, extra information between commas. Oh, my brother, comma, who lives in Ontario, comma, is older. We cannot use that instead of who and which. So like I said, we cannot use that instead of who or which. And the final tip is we cannot omit, okay? Like in defining clause, we can omit. In this situation, we cannot omit. Okay, guys, good? So let's practice. Let's practice. So, for exercise 1, I want you to complete for me with whose, who, which, or where. So number 1, guys, Dublin, ta-na-na, is the capital of Ireland, is my favorite city. Dublin, whose, who, which, or where? Which one do you guys think? Let's see. This is a tricky question. This is a tricky question. Let's see. Where? So Julio thinks it's where. Let's see the other opinions. Which or where, guys? So in this situation, Julio, I know that Dublin, it's a place, but you have to analyze the context. I'm not talking, I'm not focusing, I'm not giving extra information about the place. I'm giving information that it's the capital, okay? So in this situation, I'm talking about the capital. A capital, although normally it's a city, né? So it's a place, but capital is a thing. So in this situation, it's a thing. The capital, Dublin, which is the capital of Ireland, is my favorite place. So in this situation, because the context, I'm not imagining a place, I'm imagining a thing, I'm imagining the capital. So I'm talking about which, okay? I know it's tricky, it's a little confusing, but look at number 4. Let's analyze number 4 here, guys. Buckingham Palace. Tanana, the Queen of England, lives is in the center of London. And now, guys, now I have a place, Buckingham Palace. Think of the context. I'm giving a context of a thing of the Queen or a place, a location. What do you think? Which or where in number 4? Good, Samuel. You are right in your thoughts. Good. So like Gabriela said, in number 4, now we have a context, we have an idea of a place. The Buckingham Palace, where the Queen lives. So she lives in this place. So now I'm going to use where, okay? And number 2, guys, let's go to number 2 now. Amelia, mother, is from Shanghai, speaks English and Chinese fluently. What do you guys think? Am I mute? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Guarapa, check if the audio is okay. So, now he is. Now it's okay. Now it's okay. All right. Good. Thank you, Julio. Any problems, you type for me, okay, Julio? And number 2, whose or who? Whose or who? Now, in this situation, good job, you guys remember, Isabella, I'm gonna use whose. When do I use whose? To talk about possession, when something belongs to you. Here, the mother belongs to Amelia. So Amelia, whose mother is from Shanghai, so the mother belongs to Amelia, okay? So we're gonna use whose, possession. And number 3, guys, let's do one more. Number 3, this smartphone I bought last week takes great photos. Very good, Amy, the mother of Amelia, possession. And number 3, whose, who, which, or where? Let's see. Good, Isabela, nice. Isabela Pereira da Cunha. Isabela, where are you from? Are you from Bom Despacho? Where are you from? This smartphone, which, very, very, very good, guys. This smartphone is a thing, né? This smartphone, which I bought last week, you bought a thing, takes great photos. All right, great job. So guys, just so we can compare a little bit here, defining and non-defining relative clauses. Defining, no commas. I called my brother who lives in Ontario. And non-defining, between commas. My brother who lives in Ontario is older, okay? Good. You're from Vitória? It's because I have a friend from Bom Despacho that's Cunha too, so I thought you were his family member, all right? Another thing, guys, defining, we can use that, right, instead of who and which. Non-defining, we cannot use that. And here, defining, we can omit the pronoun, and non-defining, we cannot omit the pronoun, okay? No commas, commas. Replace for that, don't replace. Omit, don't omit. Good? So guys, now some conversation. I want to know from you something that you would love to buy. What's something that you would love to buy? If you had the money, what would you love to buy? Something that I would love to buy would be, let's see, I would love to buy a Fusca. It's something that I want. All right, if I had the money to have 2 cars, I would have a normal car and a Fusquinha. So something that I would love to buy would be a Fusca. Very original, to go to the waterfall, relax, right? So a Fusquinha would be nice. And you guys, what's something that you would love to buy? Anything? Comment for us. The class passed very, very fast. We're almost finishing. So you, Tatiane, Julio, Samuel, I would love to buy at this moment some pieces for an upgrade in my computer. Nice. Very good. So you would like to upgrade your computer. That's awesome. Do you play video games on your computer, Samuel? Do you play games on your computer? Guys, now tell me something, a goal that you have in life. So I want to know a goal that you have, one objective. I would love to buy a new laptop. Samuel, Julio would love to buy a new laptop. Very good. For work or for games, Julio? Which one? Yes, a lot. Nice. Guys, now tell me a goal that you have. What's a goal you have in life? All right, good. What games do you play, Samuel? The Sims. My main goal at this moment is to live outside from Brazil at least 1 year. Very good. Nice. Samuel, Seed also has some exchange programs for you to go to the United States in a summer camp, okay? If you have interest, send me a message in private. Maybe when this quarantine is over, you can go. We can send you to the USA, all right? You just need to have English, and you have a good English, you can go, all right? For lives, work, games, study. Nice, very good, awesome. Guys, do you know someone who is famous? Do you know anybody who is famous? Do you have a friend that is famous? Which friend? And what does he do? Tatiana's goal is similar to mine. Her goal is to graduate FPS games. All right. Call of Duty. Nice. Call of Duty is one of the best games in the world. I like Call of Duty. PUBG. Good. And guys, do you know someone who is famous? Does anybody know? Talk to me. Gabriela, I have a goal to go to Dubai. Oh, take me with you. Dubai, a very expensive place. Awesome. Guys, in the last one for us to finish is one thing about your life that you would not change. So I want you to tell me one thing about your life that you would not change. Nice to know. I'll call you in private later. Great, Samuel. You can talk to me. I'll give you the information, all right? I know, but I am not really friends. You're not really friends of the person. Got it. You're not very close to the person. Okay, good. Oh, Tatiane Zediceu is from her city. Awesome. Guys, one thing about your life that you would not change. Let's see. The last one for us to finish our class today with a very deep thought. Anything. So Gabriela wouldn't change anything about her life. Awesome. Good. I wouldn't change my rising. That's made who I am today. You're raising up, right? How you were brought up. Very good. Awesome. Okay? So guys, that was our class for today, our advanced class. Thank you very much for everybody that participated here today. Remember, next week, Monday, 9 p.m., we have our live on Seed's Instagram, and I'm gonna speak with Mohammed/Tiaguinho. He lives in the USA, but he is from Saudi Arabia, okay? And we're gonna talk about cultures, different cultures. It's gonna be really, really nice. So next week, Monday, 9 p.m., I'm gonna be on Seed's Instagram, okay? Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Have a great night. See you.